So I'm about to watch Primal Season 3 Episode 5. I'm not really sure how I'm going to format this, but I want to try something different. So while I'm watching the episode, I'm going to pause it anytime something interesting happens, and I'm going to turn back over here and we're going to talk. And we're just going to be doing it like that and see how that turns out. I'm not sure how it's going to be, but I got this idea from looking at a bunch of Chase Bridges videos. So shout out him. Jesus, 5 minutes in and it's so tense. I already don't know what to think because I was looking at this like everybody remembers everybody is going to be this big faithful reunion and we're all gonna live happily ever after. I thought it was going to be something like that. Not necessarily happy ever after because there is still like 5 more episodes left after this. But I don't know. I did not expect those fragments of Spear's memories that he's been seeing to just be that, fragments. That's why he's been imprinting Fang's memories onto things like the cricket or the lion's roar and stuff like that, because he doesn't necessarily remember entirely what Fang looks like. He thought he was the cricket, you know, he is a zombie, so his brain is deteriorating, it seems like. But it still looks like he does kind of sort of remember them, he does want to connect to them, but Fang doesn't want to connect. Fang seems like it's a very logical creature, and it's like, no, you died, you're some weird abomination, I don't want to come near you. Even though Mira wants to try to talk to you, the Dino kids want to try to talk to you, Fang wants nothing to do with this zombie. Is there a deeper reason why? I have no clue, but I'm curious to find out. Also, I'm kind of curious how the communication is going to work exactly, because they were looking at him a bit confused because he was doing zombie grunts, but previously he was doing caveman grunts, but they could understand him a bit better. So is there still going to be this weird, like, I don't know, like illogical, we don't know what you're saying because you're a zombie and you're doing random zombie noises type of thing? Or are all of their guards up strictly because he's here as this deteriorated zombie-fied creature? Okay, we're now 10 minutes in. That seems to be the continuing theme for this episode, is Mira trying to communicate with Spear, finding different ways that she could possibly get Spear's memory to jog, and him being like, oh my god, this is my family, the people I've been searching for this whole time. But she can't. And it's really confusing me because I thought he was on this journey to find them this entire time, but I guess his brain is deteriorated to not have a different word to say, because it does just seem like he is a zombie. He remembers this faint roar that sounds familiar to him, but he doesn't remember why, so he wants to go find that roar and the reason why he's alive. Why is that familiar to him? He doesn't know, but he wants to be around that roar, and that's about it. It seems like he has faint memories of Mira as well. When she was saying Mira, he saw her saying that in his head, but that's about it to that extent. She tried to get him to sit down and he struggled to sit down, which further confuses me because we just saw him hopping around imitating the cricket Fang we saw from previous episodes. So are you mobile or are you not? Please let me know. And honestly, it's just kind of sad to see this communication fail. She's trying to say, hey, I'm your soulmate, I'm your lover, I'm pregnant with your kid, and he's sitting there, blank face, zombified stare, nothing going on in his little brain. And when she tries to make him like feel her stomach, he just roars at it. Who does that? So it's really starting to seem like to them that maybe they shouldn't trust this zombified version of Spear. They might even start to think that this isn't Spear at all, because nothing is making his memory jog. He's around them because he thinks they're sort of familiar to him, but he doesn't know why they're familiar. It's really confusing. Oh, and I love the comedic bit of the 2 other people that came along with them from the village, because they are just doing random spiritual stuff to try to get rid of this evil, whatever this evil presence is. They have made a little circle, they're throwing oil around and stuff, or maybe even holy water, I'm not entirely sure, and they're just doing any spiritualist thing they can do to try to thwart away this evil. so I've now seen the rest of episode 5, and communication really isn't Spear's strong suit. So much so to the point where him and Fang were bickering a lot, and Mira and everybody else just had enough, and they just decided to keep that expedition going and move forward. Maybe Spear will be left behind, maybe he won't, but he decided to follow them, straggling behind. They decided to continue searching for the missing people because remember, they got taken away by those warthogs in the previous episode. They have yet to get them back. So they're on the hunt, and while continuing this hunt, Spear and Fang are still bickering, so much so to the point that it has alerted a baby warthog that has tried to take off running, and they decided to have this little contest going to hunt it. Reminded me of how they used to hunt things back in season 1, where it was very unclear of if they were friends or if they weren't, or if they were just situationally aligning themselves together. This harkened back to those times because it seems like this was a big competition between who could get what first, and while Spear was able to successfully hunt this thing down and kill it first, Fang was so angry. It was pushing them, they started shoving, it looks like they were about to start fighting, but there's a whole gaggle of baboons that are harassing everybody else, and that's took Mira and fled off. So now they have to work together again to try to solve this crisis. And this is kind of reiterating the message that we know about Primal as a whole, where its actions speak a lot louder than words, and what we have realized from Zombie Spear so far is that when he's not actioning, he just is a zombie. Brainless, can't think, can't barely move. But when he's in action mode, when he is sensing some danger afoot, that's when he's more mobile. He can speak more properly. He can, run across trees, throw spears. He can fight with his greatest strength, even if his body feels like it's deteriorating and is like on its last legs. This guy just is the essence of Primal. This is his primal urges kicking in. Even if he is a zombie, he is still human, kind of. It works. And after they successfully save the day and get Mira back, it's seeming like they have some form of communication bonded now because, they're sitting down, chatting together. Well, Fang seems like she really still doesn't trust Spear. It feels like everybody else is now giving him more of a chance, more of an opportunity to try and do whatever he's gonna do, be whatever he's gonna be. And he gets a little goofy smile on his face. Isn't that good? Even if he doesn't remember this is Mira, he recognizes that this is somebody that he should protect. This is somebody that he needs to stay near. This is somebody that he needs to save. Whether he recognizes she's pregnant with his child, whether he recognizes anything else, whether he recognizes Fang and knows that this is a friend that he needs to protect, none of that matters currently because they had to establish a newfound family now. This isn't going to be the same Spear. This isn't going to be the same relationship from the previous 2 seasons. They're going to have to establish something new. And it seems like Mira has accepted that, but Fang hasn't.